Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome back to Runt9 Plays Battletech. I definitely want to try to start recording more episodes in a row, because coming back after playing some on stream, playing a bunch last night on my own solo one, they all start to run together. But I took a little bit of a survey of where we were at. It looks like we still have a couple contracts where we're at, but the big thing is we just picked up a Centurion CN9A and a Jenner JR7D that we need to outfit. So I think the Centurion we're going to want to possibly play with a little bit more. I think the Jenner is going to be pretty simple because we're not going to have very much flexibility. You max out armor on it, you got 4.38 tons. That's not a lot. And looking at what we've got, I mean, snub PPC is 6 tons. It would be kind of neat to have a Jenner with that, but like, look at how much armor has to get stripped off to get you there. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, I'm like kind of convincing myself that it may not be that bad, but I'm going to say no. What I think we want to do is probably just roll this as an SRM bot. So if we rolled in an SRM4 as well, it's 2 tons, but we could do an SRM2 for a ton, and then just pop in a single thing of SRM ammo in the left leg, I guess. Put it in one of the legs. And so that gives us a full volley of 48 and then another couple. And basically, like, if we see any SRM2 pluses, which we actually ran across on stream, where it was +2 damage, so it would be 20 damage instead of 16. It's mostly for the stability, and if we basically want to just use this as a scout, strip off an evasion pip, and then get out, an SRM2 is actually perfect for that, because you waste very little ammo, and it takes basically no heat, and we're good to go. Although actually, looking at it even more, I'm curious if we take off the SRM2, we're at 0.38, and we don't have any jump jets. So maybe we want to do this even more different than that. I think I would be okay sacrificing a little bit of armor, but I think we're going to want some jump jets here. We may not necessarily need more than 4. Where does that put us out on movement? So, by the way, I literally just learned today, I was today years old, when I figured out that you can hover over these to see more details. I actually kind of want to max out his jump jet capabilities. Let's go ahead and see where we can get to with this. Just spread them out. Make my life a little bit less insane. So that's 7. Basically, we would put 1 there. We'll put 1 in each leg, and then 1 in each, or 2 in each torso. So obviously, like with SRM6s, we actually really don't have any flexibility. I mean, if we wanted to roll full armor and jump jets, this leaves us no room for actual weaponry. Like if we take this off, we're at 0.88. That's part of the reason with rolling SRMs or really any ammunition style stuff. You have to worry about the ammo, the ammo weight as well. We could just roll 2 medium lasers, and you know we're fairly okay on heat. We're only, if we jump and strike, we're at 48, so we're 18 heat down. But I think for the most part, we're not necessarily going to be using this for more than just, all right, throw out a little bit of damage and then get out of there. So if we lose some armor, I mean, that's not a great spot. I don't know that we need that other, you know, the 7th jump jet. Let's kind of take a look at where that gets us to. 240 versus 210. I don't think we care about that last jump jet. I'm actually curious if 5 would be okay. The thing is, with the max move being 190, maybe we don't need the jump jets at all. 190 is still really fast. So you know what? We're going to go back to the initial thought. Give me some SRMs, an SRM2, max out the armor again, go back to an SRM ammo in the left leg, max armor again, and honestly, like, I'd rather drop some armor to keep our legs in a decent spot. Because, like, as a scout, our legs are the most important thing. If we need to sprint to run away from danger, we're going to want our legs. I do think it's possible that we'll get flanked having some SRMs close in. So honestly, let's just drop the arms down and go 70 on each leg, and everything else fully armored. And so from a scout perspective, we're still super quick, you know? It's still 190. Our firepower alpha strike is only 64, but it's a light mech. What do you want me to say? But I think the biggest thing that this gets us is, again, if we fire our full volley and every SRM hits, 64 damage is nothing to scoff at. But if we just want to strip an evasion pip and not use up a bunch of ammo, just roll the SRM2 out there and don't worry about it. From an ammo perspective, we're doing 8 per volley. So that gets us to, what, about 12? That puts us to 96 ammo use. So we have 12 rounds worth of ammo, and that's assuming that we fire a full volley every time, which I think is probably not going to happen. And I think, honestly, the way I want to roll this is drop the left arm down a little bit more and take one more out of the left leg, maybe even pull one onto the right arm, just because this is where our ammo is, so we want it to be as protected as possible. We may even want to put that in a torso, but it's the same amount of armor. I think this is fine. Let's go ahead and get that locked and loaded. And then for our Centurion, this is where we have a little bit more room to play. When we max out armor on this bad boy, we're sitting at 18.5 tons to play with. That's a good chunk. Now you might be saying, well, just throw the AC-10 on there. Not a huge fan of AC-10s. I like AC-5s and AC-20s more. I think it is a medium in between the two, but I think it's kind of a bad medium. Whereas we have this UAC-5, which you do have to deal with the recoil, and I get that. But a UAC-5 and a snub PPC is, I mean, just look at the potential damage. That's 165. Our heat is sitting at about a 21 heat deficit, and we haven't even put on jump jets or heat sinks. This, so the snub PPC, optimal range of 270, UAC-5 optimal of 360. So if you look at our range, it's going to tell us max 540, optimal 315. I think it's because it's going between the 360 and the 270. Yeah, it's averaging those two out. Basically, if this Centurion is anywhere between 90 and 270 away, it's able to do what it needs to do. And I think that that's a pretty solid setup. And I think we could just throw a couple heat sinks on here and roll the 4 jump jets. And if we have to lose a little bit of armor, I'm okay with that. Because I think we're still going to be perfectly okay. So this puts us at 36 to 51. That is only a 14 heat deficit if we fire both weapons. Average jump heat of 8. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Our max jump is 150, and the more important thing is it gets us the flexibility of if we need to get into a sniping position with our UAC-5, again, that optimal of 360 is a really long range. Now, I think what we want to do is even move the jump jets into the torsos, and then bring down the leg armor to be where we need it to be. Also, I do realize that we haven't put AC-5 ammo in here yet. It's 15 rounds. We're firing 2 apiece. Okay, so that's a fair point. That is a fair point, as I did almost forget about ammo. And we do kind of have to worry about... With only 15 rounds, that would only give us 7 chunks of the UAC-5. We're probably going to want another box of ammo. And if we're doing that, maybe we don't want the snub PPC. Because it's a lot of heat, and... I mean, we're already generating 16. Now, granted, the thing is, it also kicks like a mule. We have to worry about the recoil. So, I'm actually kind of curious, like, from a heat management perspective, maybe we drop the heat sinks. Sinking 6 more heat per turn doesn't seem like that much, all things considered. We're probably going to be left side towards enemy. So, take more out of the right leg and just push the left leg up to max. If they get around and kill our right leg, I don't really care. So with 30 rounds, now we have 15 rounds of being able to fire our UAC-5. From a heat efficiency perspective, the main thing that it's factoring in here on top of that 21 heat deficit is the 8 jump heat. But we're not going to be jumping around a lot. We're not a Phoenix Hawk where we're going to want to jump before each shot. Now, the other thing we could do with this Centurion if we wanted to go this route is instead of the snub PPC, get in here with the UAC-5 and roll some SRMs on here and go for a little bit closer range, or maybe even the snub PPC plus some SRMs. But I really like the UAC-5. I think it's really solid, and you know, the substantial recoil effects can be mitigated as time goes by. I think the biggest thing that we would want to worry about there is maybe do a volley of UAC plus snub, then do just snub, and that'll help with heat management as well. But I really like this setup. I realize the heat efficiency looks like it's in the toilet. The 21 heat deficit is something to worry about. We're not going to be able to do full volleys all the time, but I also think we're also not going to want to have the UAC firing every single round anyways, because sometimes we're just not going to have good percentage shots. This will roll 12 days, and we basically need to look at, do we want to try to do another contract here or just get moving to another planet? We could probably handle a 1.5 skull, considering that we've got 4 mediums now. And let's take a look at what Hero Titus looks like. We probably don't want to do desert if we can avoid it. Thorny problem. This is a convoy ambush, whereas assassinate can be a little bit more difficult. Let's take a look at the star map. So we're going to Hero Titus. Again, some of these episodes are going to be a little bit more focused on, you know, customization as opposed to killing things. Got a bunch of modifiers, but none that are like really, really good. Chemicals and travel hub could mean some decent items. So I think we go ahead and take one of these contracts, and that way, you know, while we're building up our mechs, we can, you know, let the travel time go by. So dead or alive versus thorny problem. We get more salvage, less cash. This one, where are they? Well, so the thing is, I also want to make the pirates happy. This would get us 5 more max rep with the pirates. And ambushing convoy, I mean, ambush convoys are always hit or miss. You never know if you're going to ambush something that maybe they're carrying something that's got a bunch of weaponry. But I think we'll go for this one. And I think we want to probably have the 2 salvage. Yeah, we need the cash, but it's not enough extra for me to really think that it's beneficial. I don't think we... Okay, I was making sure that we did have a ship upgrade coming in as well. And so with the travel time, we'll have the Centurion and the Jenner ready to go. And so this is also a good opportunity to take a look at our existing ones and see, was there anything else we wanted to do? I do like the AC2s on the Blackjack, and at this point, we basically haven't been using the medium lasers. So what if we just drop the medium lasers and see, you know, what else would we even want to do? We're basically already maxed out on armor. AC2s use up 1 per shot, and this is 25 rounds. So we're at 12 there. We can't handle any more jump jet hard points. So I almost wish we could fit a large laser on here just so we had more long range capabilities. AC2s go out to 720, optimal 480, which granted, we're almost never going to be able to stay at that kind of range. It would be nice if we could slap a couple LRMs on this bad boy, but unfortunately we can't. We do tend to use the jump jets, but not necessarily to maneuver a long ways around. So I actually am curious, like, let's throw a large laser in here. Let's yeet a couple jump jets, and it's a sniper. It doesn't need that much armor, especially doesn't need rear armor. Like, I am fine stripping almost all of its rear armor from this one. It's a sniper. If it gets flanked, we're already in a rough spot anyways. And yes, I know large lasers are not super favored, but considering the range that we're going to want to stay at, we can also strip a ton of armor from the legs here. I don't necessarily want to strip armor, but Like, again, I'm okay stripping a good chunk of armor from this thing. We'll put a little bit of the rear back just, you know, just in case. And then we can put, we'll take one more from the center and do that. So I think because we've pretty much set up our Blackjack as a de facto sniper, which may not necessarily be its stock combat role, but I like this setup. And yes, we may want to consider pushing it into a little bit of a closer range thing, maybe putting an AC5 on there or something like that. It's got 2 autocannon slots. This is something to keep in mind, but I like this setup. You know, dropping the medium lasers in favor of a large laser. There's so many times that we're not actually in range to use the medium lasers, and because of how little heat the AC2s generate, we are, even with a jump and shoot, we are heat neutral, and we can fire our full large laser plus AC2 barrage and lose heat. I mean, obviously, like, if we're in desert, we do have to worry about it a little more, but I think this is a better setup. So that's 4 days, and I think that fills up our queue. Yeah, we're going to get the... You can't see us under the camera, but our repair scaffolding is going to be done. That's actually going to speed up the Centurion and Blackjack progress. So that should be about right. I don't think we wanted to mess with the Vindicator, although dropping that pretty useless LRM-5 is tempting. I kind of want to drop the PPC in favor of the snub PPC as well. 1 less ton and gives us more flexibility. Just kind of see what this looks like. Oh, we put the snub PPC on someone else. Never mind. Yeah, we'll leave that the way it is for now. You know, we don't have to customize every mech every time we move. The Vulcan, small laser, MG, MG ammo, MG, flamer. We're going to want to customize the Vulcan at some point as well. You know, go a little bit more focused on small lasers. On the stream playthrough, we have a Vulcan with a small coil, which is just fantastic, and I love it. So we'll get some traveling done here. Yeah, it's about flashpoints. We'll do a flashpoint at some point. Skip all these cutscenes. I wish there was a way to just make these cutscenes not happen. So I don't remember. Are we only doing the 1 jump? If we're only doing 1 jump, then I don't care. But if we're doing more than 1 jump, I want to just double check the stores. Yeah, we're just doing the 1 jump. Perfect. Chip upgrades. We're probably not going to do anything else right now. We may want to do... Actually, we will do the repaired power conduits. It's only 90k, and that unlocks the other repair stuff. Plus, we want to get the second mech bay pretty quickly as well. But both of those require a bit more cash.
Ready to go over financials whenever you...
So we probably should go for the plus morale. It's going to cost a little bit more money, but I think we'll be okay. And then the Blackjack now gets finished as soon as we land.
Our nest egg is just about gone, Commander.
Not yet. Let's double check the store. Kind of take a look at what neat stuff might be for sale. Banshee salvage, Javelin, Rifleman salvage. Riflemans are kind of neat heavies. I do like Shadowhawks quite a bit. Warhammer, Vulcan. We can build up another Vulcan. LRM 15. LRM 15 plus for extra stability damage. SRM 6 plus for more crit. That's a good one. That's like an insta buy once we have a little bit more spare cash sitting around. But let's take a look at the contracts we've got here as well. See how long we're going to be in this system. Because obviously we've got that 1.5 skull that we need to do right away. I think with our Centurion and Blackjack modifications that we've done, we've got some serious firepower. We could literally just deplete this place of contracts. Every single one of these is worth doing. 2 1.5 skulls, 1, 2, 3 1 skulls, and 3 half skulls. Every single one of them. So I think what we're going to do, 19 minutes in, let's launch this contract. It's a 1.5 skull, so it's probably going to take a moment. Shutter is still injured, unfortunately. So the Centurion is coming on this one. This is basically the A-team. And you know what? I haven't checked the barracks in a while. Let's see if we've got any upgrades ready to go. Got Crackshot, Gumdrop. Let's see here. Gumdrop 3252. We'll probably pull more gunnery there. Mothership 2000. There's a Bulwark. Silver Eagle already has sensor lock. Probably go piloting next. Because this is who is going to be piloting the Vulcan. So we actually definitely want piloting for sure. Because the Vulcan is going to be up in melee a lot. And then for YouTube, I think that Bulwark is probably going to be the other one. We've kind of been running him on the Scout, but you know, with piloting, actually still on the Vulcan for now. Although Silver Eagle with the sensor lock is kind of tempting to push back over that direction. It's only 0.25 more melee hit, and this is 1 bonus evasion after moving. I think that sure footing is good on just about anything. So let's jump into that contract. I'm ready to go. We're going to have some good fun with this one. We're bringing the Centurion in, and just because I like organizing things this way, heavy to light. So I think that Bulwark on the Centurion is good. We have the UAC-5 and the Snub PPC. We definitely want good gunnery there. We also want good gunnery on... Well, you want good gunnery on everything. So I think Mothership on the Blackjack. Guts is going to be overheat threshold. I think you require 6 to get there, though. I don't think we need Bulwark on the Blackjack, though. I'm gonna say that's kind of a thing. Maybe a little difficult to figure this out. I think the Vindicator needs Bulwark more than anything else. I don't think we really need sure footing there. So we can put basically whoever we want in the Blackjack. At this point, it doesn't matter too terribly much. Ideally, higher gunnery, but let's roll with this and see what happens. We're dealing with an ambush convoy. Convoys are lightly defended by a single lance of mechs. Destroy enough, their other operations will be weakened enough for forces to move in. So engage in a little guerrilla warfare on our behalf. Boy, we're set up perfectly for that. UAC-5, 2 AC-2s and a large laser, a PPC and LRM-5. I mean, we've got 3 things that are ready to stay at range and just pound them from afar. So this might end up being a little bit of a longer episode. You know, we learned from the first time, don't start a mission with 25 minutes in. We're 22 minutes in, and I don't want to end an episode off without a mission. We could have done another contract, but we'll do this one. This is what we're here for. And we want to also try out our new toys. Because we've got the Blackjack, instead of 2 medium lasers, it's got a large laser and much less armor. And we've got the Centurion. Definitely want to see how that goes. And, you know, we have the Jenner. I felt like for this mission, I'd rather have the Vulcan than the Jenner. Okay. So we're not going to get a bunch of cash from this. That is something to keep in mind, but, you know, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So, as usual, very first thing is to scout the map. Escorts are optional targets. Okay, so this one I have done before. They do send extra stuff at us. You know what? This exact mission has ruined a playthrough for me before. If I remember what's going to happen is they're going to drop in another lance right there. And so we actually are... We're actually going to be in a little bit of a rough spot on this one. There's not really a great spot for us to get to, except kind of up here. We can have our snipers up here and then start closing the gap. Maybe that'll be okay. But unfortunately, I think that's just about our only option. And we may accidentally trigger combat without meaning to. We're going to have to be super careful on this one. Because the thing is, the convoy will move even before we get there. So unlike a lot of times where I like setting up the positioning very carefully, we don't really have that luxury. We may have to trigger combat sooner than we want to.
I'm there.
Thing is, I want to get to an advantageous position. And if we tried to go around this way, we would be chasing the convoy, and I don't think we could get there in time. So we're probably going to want to trigger combat here pretty soon. so we can at least get eyes on them. So even though I think we keep moving up over here to play it safe, I say we go ahead and send our Vulcan in to try to get eyes on the convoy. Still don't have eyes on him. As long as we put forth a good faith effort, if the convoy does escape, we're not going to, like, get in trouble or anything. I say send the Vulcan up there. Centurion, we can move a little bit more front-facing that direction. Blackjack needs to stay further back. Then the Vindicator, like, kind of slow. We can't do much with you. PPC and an LRM-5 is so bad. Like, the Vindicator definitely could use better weapons.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, we still haven't spotted anything yet. We're coming up on the denial zone. I think this is where, yeah, go ahead and jump into this forest. Any enemy contact yet? No. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like that. Go into the marsh, 5 evasion pips. There we go. We finally got enemy contact. Those are the enemy vehicles, and we're not very close right now. Okay, we can get our Centurion up on this rock.
Here we go.
Blackjack. It is almost going to be in sniper range next turn. Okay. This is basically all we can do. A Locust, not really a concern. The main concern at this point is the convoy actually escaping before we can stop them.
Awaiting orders.
I mean, we should mostly want to ignore this Locust unless we can sensor lock it. Which, I mean, probably going to be the best option. It would be nice to get someone else in sensor range of the vehicles, though. I know this is, like, really spicy, but moving our Vulcan up into closer range... Or, sorry, that's the Vindicator. Where's our Vulcan? Yeah. Move you up closer. Like, right there. We want to get eyes on the vehicles. This Locust, I mean, not much we can do. Definitely ignore the medium laser. Everything else is kind of not going to hit, but give it a little bit of heat and poke its armor slightly. It also drops an evasion pip, at least. Probably Blackjack, just move you up and sensor lock something. If we sensor lock the Locust, that's going to strip off 2 more evasion pips. And it starts getting it into a range where I might want to consider engaging. The Vindicator, let's get you up here as well. And we'll probably, like, skip the PPC and just LRM-5 this thing. Is it going to miss? Oh, yeah, absolutely. But Howdy, sensor locked, cover. Yeah. Throw LRMs at it. Didn't do much, but it stripped off another evasion pip. That's the primary thing here. And now we can get our Centurion over into this forest, well protected. What side are we towards enemy? Jump jets, left arm. It looks like we're left side towards enemy on this one. Yep. Left side towards enemy. And just shoot the Locust with whatever we got. Now PPC is long range right now. Yeah. That's fine. Don't fire it. Just UAC-5 is good. And it's still really good damage. We destroyed an arm. Locust is in a bad spot. It was basically just to pass the time while we wait for the vehicles to move in. Looks like that was maybe a volley of LRM-10. Main thing I'm worried about is if they have, like, a big autocannon focused, like a destroyer or something, or demolisher. But if it's just LRMs, like, we can handle that. I'm also not going to be too scared of getting up on the road, but I'm also afraid of getting ambushed. The Locust just went to hide. They've got a Javelin as well. Javelin is a lot more of a problem than a Locust.
Reporting.
Okay.
Commander?
So again, I think we keep moving our Vulcan up into potentially compromising positions. That gets it into cover with a lot of evasion pips and gives us eyes on everything. Maybe a little spicy, but now we've got all the eyes we need. Okay, so this thing, we've got a small laser and 2 machine guns. I mean, that's not gonna do much. I really want to get our Vulcan with some more firepower. Flamer's not gonna do a gosh darn thing. Ignore that. I guess just shoot everything else for the sake of shooting. Maybe brace. I legitimately don't think this is worth the damage that it's gonna do. When we could just brace and gain guarded for another 20% damage. I just do that.
What's the plan?
I think we need to move our Centurion up. You know, the minimum range of 90 really isn't that big of a deal. We can't get it anywhere to shoot the vehicle, though. Because this thing's about to escape. Let's see about somebody else shooting it.
You have orders?
We can get our Blackjack up there to shoot it. 55 with the large laser because of range. I think that's still okay. AC2s are 25 a pop. If we hit the same chunk of armor, it's dead, no matter what. But I say this is probably a good precision strike opportunity in that left armor.
Primary target damage. Concentrate your fire and push
Okay.
it down.
The other AC2 did miss, but it's very close to dead. I think we go in with our Vindy.
I'm there.
We shouldn't need the PPC as well. Got a 55% chance to hit anyways, but okay, we got there. I sent the LRMs in as well just to help out if necessary, but that did the trick. Javelin's got 2 evasion pips. We're gonna ignore the Locust this turn. I do think we need to start getting our Centurion a little bit closer, though. We're left side towards enemy, but the enemies are kind of spread out. So the Locust we ignore. The Javelin can't even hit with the snub PPC. It would only be a 30% chance otherwise. So honestly, just brace. There's no point in wasting ammo or heat. So they're going to use LRMs with a poor range against... Ah, the head hit, though. How dare you? Our Vulcan also can do melee really well against these guys. He has a pretty decent stomp and has the small lasers and everything to follow up. The Locust obviously gonna go do some rear damage against our Vulcan. We knew that was coming. And that puts our firing squad onto the Locust pretty easily. I very much realize the compromising position we put our Vulcan into. But as we move the rest of our units up, I mean, this is a really solid firing line that we can start setting up. We get our UAC and the snub onto this striker. Go for it. It's dead. Enemy reinforcements? Where are they dropping? It looks like they're going to be dropping right on our heads. Wait, hold on. Are these the reinforcements? Yes, these are the reinforcements. Okay, it was kind of throwing me off for a second. I would very much like it if we could just nuke one of them before they can even get going.
Waiting for orders.
Because now we've got our Centurion and our Vulcan up in a fairly compromising position. I think we need to move our Vulcan back. Maybe even up here. Trying to figure out where our best shot's gonna be. Maybe go right here. Flamer back on, medium laser back on, and fire at the javelin that's in the far back. Go ahead and take it. Machine guns are so useless, dude.
How might I help?
Alright. At this point, we need to start working on the reinforcements a little bit. So go ahead and pop this javelin with everything we got.
Go.
PPC missed.
You
You
have
hate to see it. Alright. Blackjack, I think you're going to take the shots next. Large laser, 50%. The heat neutrality of this is so wonderful. AC2, one of the AC2s and the large laser missed. Vehicles are moving up, like we're so close to them escaping. I think we have to just spend a turn accepting that we're going to take some damage and just make the vehicles dead. Like these javelins are going to hurt us pretty bad.
Give everything you got.
Oh, they're LRM-15s. That's actually not terrible. I was afraid they were the 4 laser dudes. The 4 laser dudes are a lot more troubling. Like this javelin. Okay, so A is LRM, F is lasers.
I'm showing minor damage. I'm being flanked.
I mean, yes, a rear attack from an LRM-15 is less than desirable, but
Yes, Commander. Awaiting order.
can our Vulcan go get a stomp on? No? Then go beat this javelin to a bloody pulp. Nice headbutt. Boom. I think the right torso was where the LRMs were as well. Yeah, so the LRMs are down, and it's, you know, very, very close to dead. I mean, I hate to say it, but, like, we got to get these things down. Alright, Vindicator onto this striker. I think we may even need to cold shot it. Can we get in closer for the PPC? I think it's all going to be indirect fire. Because right now, the problem is the PPC is at long range. I think we just have to accept it. Although, we can drop an evasion pip on it by having the Blackjack fire first.
How might I help?
Large laser is at long range as well. And you hate to see it. Alright.
Standing by.
We're going to want to precision strike this thing with the PPC. Front armor? No. Oh, crap. These actually have a good chunk of armor. Gotta take it.
Copy that, Commander.
Okay. I think one of them might escape. I hate to say it.
Yes, Commander.
We gotta take what we're given, and 36 armor left in the front is still a good bit. The large laser hit, one of the AC2s missed. Its side armor is basically done, though. Alright, here's what you do. Is you get a little spicy with it. You do this, and you just give it all she's got, Captain. Oh, man. I think we got to do the snub PPC just because it has a higher... well, no. Do the UAC-5, accept a little bit of structure damage from the heat. Okay, we destroyed one, but I think the other one has still got a chance to escape.
Over the red line. Heat damage.
Okay, do we have one more turn before the dropship comes in? Or does it leave at the end of the round? It leaves at the end of the round.
Mission failed.
Oof. I mean, it's going to give us good faith money, but it's only going to be like 100k, 66k. And we got a single LRM-10 out of it. I mean, the salvage there wasn't going to be that great anyways, but man, I think we spent too much time. We should have just gone in on the convoy immediately. We've got some decent firepower if we can focus fire, but that was a little rough. We needed to just be in there to stomp on the vehicles. Meleeing vehicles is easily the best way to deal with them. Problem right now that we have is we don't have a melee brawler. We need a melee brawler, and I think that's probably going to be the Vindicator. Like, from an armor perspective, Vindicator is second only to our Centurion in armor right now. But I think if we were to strip all this away and throw some medium lasers and some SRMs in here, we would be in a better spot. You hate to fail missions, but, you know, unfortunately that type of thing will happen. Our Centurion took basically 5 structure damage everywhere. Repair, take 2 days. Just let it happen. You know, we'll go ahead and get that done. And I think we're going to need to hire another person, or are we good? No, we still have 4. We can still sport a full team. So that's going to do it. In the next episode, we've got a bunch of contracts we can start working our way through. No, we've got another 1.5 skull. We'll probably want to go ahead and do that one. It's a battle, and you know, I think this one they'll end up throwing in a second round of enemies, and they'll fight each other, and we can clean up the scraps. But we'll see where we're at after that. But then we've got a bunch of 1 skulls and half skulls to do, and those should be pretty trivial for us to knock out. Get some cash back, get in a better spot. So unfortunately, we're ending this off with a mission failure, but we got to play with our new toys, and I'm excited to play with our new toys some more. We do need to get a medium brawler in there, but we'll get that done soon. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, the single best thing you can do to support me and the channel's growth is by clicking the like button. That sends a message to YouTube that says, hey, other people might like videos like this. In addition, make sure you subscribe so you get to keep up with this series and the other cool stuff we're doing on YouTube. Check out the top 10 Nova Drift upgrades coming out today at noon. And other than that, there's a link tree in the description below that has information for Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. Twitch 5 days a week, twitch.tv/Runt9plays, and the community Discord. Come hang out with all of your friends. But until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I'll see you later.